Hey all, I have here my Shabby overlays 1 through 6, and here is my big sample preview page, but I also have here in my Windows viewer some samples for us to look at, and you can see it's a grungy overlay, and it comes in 6 different fun scratched up grungy overlays. And here's another one, and here's another one. You can see it's kind of fun right there, scratched down in the middle and along all the edges. This one's really got some fun grunge out in the middle of it, and some corner turns, and this one's a little bit more subtle. And so here's a corner turn on this one, and so that is my 6 overlays, the first 6 that I've made. I hope to have more sets, and I'm going to show you how to utilize these in your digital scrapbooking designs, or even just for personal use. So just take any scrapbooking paper. Here's one that I made and I've used for all of my samples, and I'm going to just hit Control J and duplicate it a bunch of times so we have a bunch to play with. So I have a bunch that I can delete with. So I have just this one here, and I've already brought in 1 through 6 here of my overlays, and here I'm going to make this first one visible, and you can see it doesn't quite reach all the way around the edge. This is so that you can make a mat with it, and making mats are really easy to do. I've created these so that you can easily grab the magic wand tool and just click on the outside, and make sure you're on the correct layer, of course, on the outside of this overlay, and then you can go to select, modify, and expand that selection by 2 or 3. I think I've been using 2 before, but let's go ahead and do 3, and you can see that brings it inwards a little bit, a few pixels on the inside of the overlay. That just is so that we make sure that if there's some semi-transparent areas on the edges of the mask, that when you select them they might not quite have selected in far enough, and then you'd have some blue showing on the outer edge, which isn't real favorable. It isn't wrong. And then I'm going to make sure that my paper layer is the active layer, and just hit delete on my keyboard, then Control D, and just like that you have a grunged up paper. So you can use any paper in your digital scrapbooking supplies, any kit that you're working with, and do something with this even for personal use. These are for commercial use if you want to make papers with them for your kits, but even personal use. You can see it's really cool and grungy up here on the edge. So that is basically how you use it, but we can go a few steps further and play a little bit more. If you want, you can play with blending modes. There, it's a whole new look. And so I'm just going to run through some of these, see if any of them work. Lighten actually looks pretty good. Screen is a little bit too white, and so on. Lighter color, I kind of like the way that one looks. This one, overlay, it doesn't look like the traditional type of paper, but it does give a kind of a whole new look. So just run through them all. You can use this as a border if you want. We'll look at that, but you can just have fun, play with it, and create something unique. We always say, that's what I always say, play, and you'll end up creating something unique. So let's go ahead and get rid of that background, and let's just play with another one. So we have a new background and a new overlay, and you can see this one has the corner that is rolled over. And if you want to keep it as a JPEG rather than the previous one you would have saved as a PNG, .png file, you can go ahead and play with these and bring them on out to the edges. I'm going to hold down my control key to, you might lose some of it, but I'm holding down my control key so this skews it. And I'm going to click OK, and let's go over here and maybe skew this one up, and the same down here. And the same over here. Now you're going to see that my corners are all lined up, but some of the edges are not. And so this bottom edge looks like it is all the way off, and so does, oh, not quite. Now you can leave this edge. I have done papers like this and just left it. Your other alternatives are to go ahead and grab this and just pull it out, and you might lose a little bit of it, but that works, gives you some grunginess on the edge. Or instead of pulling it out, if you want, grab that clone tool and use it. If you don't know how to use the clone tool, I have lessons on it, and you can grab the clone tool and fill in the edge. And so I'm not going to do all of this, but this is just ideas for you. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just bring this up, because I don't want to sit here and clone all of that during a tutorial. So this is all the way out to the edge, and so I could save this just now as a JPEG also, and that would make a cool paper just like that. As I said, you can go back and play with various overlays. Here I'm going to hit Control U, colorize it, play with various colors. Oh, that doesn't look good at all, but you get the idea. You can play with it and create something unique and different. Maybe you just want to use multiply and have it be grunged up like that, and then maybe put another texture on top of it. That doesn't actually look really good. I think, which one was better? I don't really remember. Here you go, play with the opacity. Okay, so that is another way to do it. And here, let's go to number 3. And what if you want to make other types of elements? Let's make, let's say, a tag. And we're not going to use all of this. We would just use part of it to grunge up our tag. And so what I'm going to do is get the rounded rectangular tool. I don't know what kind of radius I have. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Let's make it more like a tag this way. And I'm going to bring that down a layer, and I'm going to go ahead and simplify it and group it. Of course, these are all skills that you can learn in the designer class. Already should have learned if you're this far in the designer class, but I am putting this up for the public to kind of see and get ideas. So if you don't know how to do this stuff, I do have lessons that teach all these things in more detail. And so I'm going to grab this and bring it down to my corner of my tag. Let's see, I want to make it smaller so it's more realistic for a smaller tag. And just put it in here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down, and I am going to group that with this layer, and now you can see I have a little bit of grunge on my tag. Maybe I just want that to come through the center. Maybe I want it, you can actually manage to get this grunged up all the way around it if you wanted to do some cutting of it, that's pretty cool right there. But let's say I do a Control J of this, and now I have two, and I'm going to clip both of them, and then I'm going to move this around so that the bottom of it is on here, and I really don't want it overlapping twice over here. I could, but I don't, so I'm going to just delete some of it. Maybe I'm going to do it again and go ahead and move it over here so I get some of this edge in it. So I don't really like that. There we go. I think you're kind of getting the idea. So there we go. Grab that eraser. I don't like this one on top of that one so much. And I don't like, which one's that on? The first one. Anyway, you get the idea. Now I would have a grungy tag, all grunged up. And if you wanted, you can use your blending modes and your opacity and use them in different ways. And so that would be a grungy tag. It's almost a little too grungy for my tastes. There, that's a little bit better. And hey, I don't like this. See, I keep playing with it. There, that's even a little bit better. Gotta play till you get something that you like. You can put some now word art on there and have a grungy tag. Oh, let's try, let's get rid of all of these, and where's the one with the corner? Here it is with the corner. And so you want something that maybe has a tag with a turned up corner. You don't have to use this entire thing. I'm resizing it so it's a little bit more realistic. I'm going to group it with this, and just like that. Corner of my, of course I probably wouldn't do a rounded corner with the triangle turned corner, but just like that, you have a turned corner with some other grunge on here, and it looks pretty cool. If you want, you can maybe merge this down. Whoops, I forgot to turn off my Yahoo Messenger, and it looks like my internet's going in and out again. And so what I'm going to do with this shape is just kind of trim it off. Or you could use your polygonal lasso tool. And there we go. Now it's really folded. Right there on the edge. See? Pretty darn cool. Just like that, you have a thing with a turned edge. And now somebody's at my door. So I am going to go, and I hope this gives you some ideas on how to use these, and I can't wait to see what you all do with them.